So let's talk about yesterday's response from the White House when they tried to downplay remarks that the president had made earlier in the day. Now, isn't this a pattern? Think about this for a minute. How many times have we seen Joe Biden say something off the cuff, and then an hour or two later, when Karine Jean-Pierre takes the podium in the White House press room, she tries to say, well, no, that's not exactly what he said. No, he didn't mean that. It happens all the time, doesn't it? Almost on a daily basis. Yesterday, the president was speaking at an event in the nation's capital. He was promoting government spending in child care and other investments. During his speech, the president took a shot at House Republicans over their budget proposals, which cut care-giving programs by a third, he said. In cut number one, he said it would mean that 260,000 fewer kids would be in child care. Here's the president.
They just released their budget, the Republicans, that cuts caregiving programs by a third. The ones that exist, cuts them by a third. For example, it would mean 260,000 fewer kids in child care. My predecessor and his MAGA friends want to, I love the phrase, the language they use, they want to terminate the Affordable Care Act. Terminate. Well, guess what? Killing millions of Americans, take them off of health care insurance, is stripping others of services like home care. Folks, by the way, you know how many times they've tried to take out Obamacare, Affordable Health Care Act? 49 times they've tried.
Now, how does Joe Biden get by with saying things like that and the mainstream media never calls him out? That is to say it's an exaggeration is an understatement. If Obamacare goes away tomorrow, it's not going to kill millions of Americans. And yes, the GOP has been trying to tweak Obamacare for years now. Later, Fox News' Jackie Henrick pressed White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on whether the president meant to essentially accuse Republicans of murder. Here's that exchange.
Did the president mean to essentially accuse Republicans of murder? I mean, the language that he was using to describe opposition to the Affordable Care Act, the quote was, they want to terminate the Affordable Care Act. Terminate, well, guess what? Killing millions of Americans. Does he think that Republicans are trying to kill Americans?
I think you're taking the most extreme definition or extreme evaluation of what the president said. Here's the reality. The Affordable Care Act, which obviously started in the Obama-Biden administration, the president expanded on that, making sure that people have affordable health care. That saves lives. It does. It is important. It is, but you're taking what he said to the most extreme part of your definition or your realization. I know, but let's be really clear. Let's be really clear. People having health care is important. It saves lives. It is important to have that. The fact that this president was able to expand that is important, right? We're talking about people who didn't have access to health care that could, whether they're dealing with diabetes or cancer or something that is affecting their everyday life, right? And I think, when you have a party that's trying to get rid of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and says it bluntly and wants to repeal, they tried to repeal Affordable Health Care or Affordable Care Act, to be more specific, more than 60 times. They literally voted on it when it is saving people's lives. Why? Why do they do that? Why? Do they not want Americans to have health care, affordable health care, to protect themselves, to save their lives? I mean, that's the question to be asked. The president's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to be where majority of Americans are, and protect their health care, protect their Medicare, protect their Medicaid. And you don't see that from the other side. You just don't.
Karine Jean-Pierre just drives me insane at times. When she doesn't want to answer a question, she'll say, well, that's political. That needs to be asked to the campaign. But yet she stands at the podium almost daily and lobs bombs at the GOP, just like this. When she talks about, well, they're being extreme, They've voted on repealing Obamacare 60 times. No Republican wants to totally eliminate health care access to Americans. We understand the importance of that. But there's also better ways it can be accomplished to where it's not continually driving up our overall national debt. But they don't want to talk about it. And they want to paint Republicans as heartless, uncaring people who want to take people's health care away and literally, as the president said yesterday, kill millions of Americans in the process. Why do you think the mainstream media doesn't call them out on things like this? If Donald Trump were to say something like this, I mean, think about it. What was it, just a few weeks ago, when he used the word bloodbath to describe what would happen within the automobile industry if Donald Trump is not elected in November, if Joe Biden, God forbid, gets another 4 years. He used the word bloodbath, and it was just blown up. That was the headlines, that Donald Trump says there's going to be a bloodbath if he's not elected. But yet Joe Biden can talk about the Republicans killing millions of Americans, and nothing said about it.